The Four Agreements. The way it feels to hold this book is very powerful sometimes. So right now, it just feels like a normal book, but when you're charged with your friends late at night, talking bullshit, and you're sitting at the table, right? And you have this book down at the table, and you pick it up just because you want something to fiddle with, just like how I'm playing with it now. And then you really take a look at it, and then you look at the cover art, the Four Agreements, and you feel the texture. And you look at this nigga, fucking Don Miguel Ruiz. You look at this nigga, you like, who is this nigga? What are the Four Agreements? Literally each one of these are textures, everything. Such a beautiful book. And I didn't even buy this book. This book was given to me. I feel like I received it because I was meant to receive it. It literally is a wisdom book. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. The first agreement is be impeccable with your words. And the second is don't take anything personally. That's such a good agreement. Because even in our mind, we have multiple voices saying conflicting things at the same time. We could have one voice. For example, the voice I had now of sit down, record this video, even if you don't see the purpose in it. Just sit down. You've been called to record this video. You got this idea for a reason. So do it while you have the chance, the energy, and the time. And there was another voice in my head telling me, I'm so tired, I haven't had enough rest. I should really just sleep and fuck off the rest of the day. But I didn't take that personally. There's nothing wrong with me wanting to rest. Just like there's nothing wrong with me wanting to eat. Nothing wrong with me wanting to hang out with friends. Nothing wrong with me wanting to bun game. Nothing wrong with wanting to experience your life 100%. But I decided to take the chance to record. It's very easy to have doubts or thoughts like that creep up to where it's going to derail you from your main mission. It's going to shift your focus. Doesn't even have to be a negative thought necessarily, just a thought that isn't with your plan. Sometimes they're negative. Sometimes it's a lack of confidence, a lack of belief, anxiety, fear. Sometimes it's literally like just being tired. Just feeling stuck. Just feeling like life's too short and long at the same time. But it's okay to not even take your own thoughts personally. If I could read a quote from page 54. The mind lives in more than one dimension. There may be times when you have ideas that don't originate in your mind, but you're perceiving them with your mind. You have the right to believe or not believe these voices, and the right not to take what they say personally. We have a choice whether or not to believe the voices we hear within our own minds, just as we have a choice of what to believe and agree with in the dream of the planet or society. The mind can also talk and listen to itself. The mind is divided as your body is divided. Just as you could say, I have one hand and I can shake my other hand and feel the other hand. So just like how I can do this, the mind can also talk and listen to itself. Part of the mind is speaking and the other part is listening. And it's a big problem when 1,000 parts of your mind are all speaking at the same time. In the book, they describe this as like a mist of fog, because there's so much voices saying conflicting and random unrelated things at the same time, and you're all trying to process, trying to decide what you should do now in this limited time you have. Each one has different thoughts and feelings. Each one has a different point of view. The programming in the mind, all of those agreements we have made are not necessarily compatible with each other. I could have the agreement of I want to have fun, but I could also have the agreement of I want to make 100,000 in 1 year. I could have the agreement of I want to spend time with my friends and family. And I could also have the agreement of I need to sacrifice of myself in order to provide for them. Nothing's good or wrong. Bad or correct. There once was a farmer, right? And he was old. He could no longer work. But he had one loyal person that would always tend to the farm and always take care of all his crops and all his animals. His most loyal employee. And one day, that employee had to leave, had to move on. So the farmer sits down, and his friends all gather around as usual, just hanging out, talking shit. And they ask him, we heard that he's leaving your most loyal employee that you have for years. That's quite bad. I'm sorry to hear that. And the farmer responds, oh, well, I guess that is bad, but I don't know. Then some time passes and the farmer manages to get his son to work for him. And his son is able to make a living for himself and also help his dad take care of the farm and the crops. And all the farmer's friends ask him again, we heard you're working with your son. That's great news. The farmer responds, I guess that is good, but I don't know. Then, one day, his son gets bitten by a wild wolf and his leg is infected. And his son is unable to walk. And once again, the farmer goes out, sits down with his friends, and they all ask him, we've heard what happened to your son. Isn't that really bad? We're so sorry to hear that. The farmer responds, I guess that is pretty bad, but I don't know. And then a week later, a recruiter shows up to the farm, rural area, so driving out of his way. And the recruiter comes and speaks to the farmer and says, we're looking for any young man between the ages of 18 and 50 to deploy to the war. And the farmer explains that my son can no longer walk. He is of no good to you. So the recruiter leaves. And the farmer sits down, he's explaining this story to his friends, and his friends ask him, that's such good news. I can't believe that your son got away from the deployment, from having to go to war. And the farmer just simply, as usual, says, well, Yeah, I guess that is pretty good that he doesn't have to go, but I don't know. Nothing is good or bad. Nothing is necessarily right or wrong. We live in a society with rules, right? So we all have to be able to live together. And there's that aspect of it to where you must be accepted in society. But sometimes you have to do a bad thing to get a good result. Sometimes you have to break a law to save someone's life. So how would you judge that? Who are you to judge someone when we are all sinners? So don't take anything personally, even the judgment of others, even the judgment of your own mind. Because your own mind has so many thoughts and opinions that it doesn't even know at times what to focus on. It just has multiple thoughts and opinions and agreements, all trying to be followed at the same time. And I believe that's why focus is such a deadly weapon. I truly think whatever you focus on with enough time and commitment and dedication and drive and the ability to self-start and go after things that aren't clearly laid out for you, the ability to trailblaze and create your own way, I think you will always succeed. I think that's how we've made it this far into society, to where we have the internet, to where we have planes, cars, boats. All it takes is focus. Those who focus on playing game all day become really good at the game. And don't tell me otherwise, because I get on the game now, I'll get mashed up by anyone who spends more than a week playing. And that's because I don't play. Those who study and focus in school usually get high grades. I don't know. It's a simple agreement, but just being able to spend a week focusing on one agreement and then being able to literally apply it to my life straight away during that week. I would recommend highly to just pick up a copy of this book. Pick up a copy of this book, read it, journal about it. Pick up a copy, read it, make a video about it. You don't even have to post it, or talk to a friend about it. Share the knowledge that you're gaining. Because we all agree on some things. We all have our own set of agreements. So wouldn't you want to be able to focus and filter what agreements are most important to you? Start by learning the 4 agreements. Literally start by learning the 4 agreements and figuring out what agreements you have with yourself. Like, my agreement with myself is I try to be strong. I'm a strong person. I try to push myself and work hard for the things that I want. I try to learn as much as I can. So what are your agreements? What have you promised yourself? What do you identify with? If someone were to describe you, how would they describe you as a person? What are some of the rules you live by? What are some of the things that you do? And what are some of the things that you don't do? And why? What are your agreements? And are you following the 4 agreements? Do you understand the 4 agreements? Be impeccable with your word. Why aren't you already impeccable with your word? Or if you are impeccable, why are you impeccable with your words? If you take things personally, if you're meeting someone new and they say something and you take it to heart and you feel embarrassed or called out or bad about yourself. And you just met this person, so they can't personally know you on a level to place that kind of judgment on you as a character. Why are you taking it so personally? Why haven't you made that agreement with yourself to not take things personally? Why are you taking your negative thoughts of, I'm in a dead-end job, I'm not going to make it anywhere, I'm sad, I'm depressed? Why are you taking those thoughts personally? Those thoughts are just a reaction. Your mind reacts to a million things every day. So why are you focusing on that? And why are you not focusing on the little moments where you see a glimmer of hope? The little moments that make you happy. The time with friends, the time with family, the progress that you make towards your goals. Why is that not your agreement? Why are you not taking those things personally? But you're taking your slip-ups personally. And as a human, I know it's very hard. But it's all about focus. I'm telling you, with enough time, I truly believe we can do anything. We have the Spirit of God within us to create. We have the power of creativity. But that power could also be turned into the power of destruction. And many times we self-destruct. We are our own worst enemy. Sometimes we get negative feedback and we shut down our whole project. Or we don't even give other people a chance and we kill our own dreams. But let society tell you that your dreams are bullshit. Let them tell you it's a waste of time. Let them tell you you're not going to make it. Literally, let the worst case scenario play out. And just don't take it personally. Just say to yourself, this is of no use to me. And only focus on the things that are going to make you better. Be impeccable with your thoughts. Take your victories personally. Take your losses as lessons. I really look forward to reading the third and fourth agreement. Just a sneak peek. I think the third agreement was, don't make assumptions. The third agreement is literally don't make assumptions. And I was just going to assume what the third agreement was by reading it briefly, and don't make assumptions. But yeah, I can't wait to finish these 4 agreements. And because everything is habits. Me going to the gym now isn't gonna give me more muscle, and me not going isn't gonna take away. But me skipping on the habit will, after some time, lead to me losing the results that I worked so hard for. Me starting this habit of sharing what I learn, or spending time just making a video, trying to share something, trying to learn, just expressing myself. This is also a habit. This is an agreement I have made with myself. And I'm not going to take it personally if it feels hard, if it feels like a waste of time, if it feels bad, if it feels rushed, if it feels unfinished, if it feels cringy. Doesn't matter. Because I made the agreement with myself to be impeccable. So in order for me to be impeccable, I'm already assuming that this grows into something beyond my wildest imagination, something I won't even be able to comprehend, all starting out from these simple little videos. So focus, choose carefully, determine what you want for your life, and make steps towards it every day. The universe gives you what you want, but it doesn't just drop it in your lap. It gives you what you want by, once you truly believe and truly start working towards it, it will show you the opportunities that you otherwise didn't see, or you otherwise ignored, or you otherwise didn't believe that were actual true opportunities. You can't increase your income if you never put out job applications, right? Can't start a business without going out there and putting in the application and going through all the regulations and getting your licenses, getting your insurance, setting up your accounts, learning how to make a website, learning how to handle online payments, how to deliver your service consistently to high quality, how to source your equipment or your supplies. Literally, this is much more simpler than you think. It all starts from trying, failing, and then the crucial step of trying again and learning. But if you don't even try, if you don't even believe you can, or if you try and then give up, then the universe is only going to give you that. The universe is only going to give you despair because that's what you put out into it. Just very carefully, just move accordingly. Don't think things personally. You will fuck up. You will make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But we all also do good things. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. See what I learn. See what I could put out into the world. Who I could help. How I could help them. How I could help my friends and family. How I could feel proud about myself. Life truly is extremely short, and it's such a tragedy that people don't get to experience the life the way they truly want. Because like I've said, I feel like heaven is on earth. It just, your version of heaven, as close as you can make it. But it's only if that's what you focus on, if that's what you water. People talk about vibrations and low vibrations and high vibrations. That's a very vague way of explaining it, but they literally are low vibrations, to where there are people who may have had the same opportunities as me or even more, but they're worried about fitting in. They're scared of failure. They're scared of being judged. They're scared of not being good enough. And it's like, so what if you're not good enough? What if you fail? What if other people judge you? That's okay. Because as a baby, you weren't born running. There are certain things you may not be the best in the world at, but you're you, however good you are at that thing, whatever it may be. And you are unique in your own way. And like I said, you may not be the best. You may be a failure by all metrics. But if you in your heart and soul believe that you're successful, then you will have a life that you'll be proud of. And I think that's all that matters. So be proud of yourself, man. Make the proper agreements with yourself. Filter the right things. Build your heaven and start walking further and further away from hell as you can.